So today I'm going to make some hot cross buns. Easter's approaching in a few weeks' time, so I thought I'd have a go at this. So we have a pound of strong white bread flour, which I've just measured into the scales here. 50 grams of sugar, half a teaspoon of salt, and added in about a teaspoon of mixed spice, but I might put a little bit more, so I do like them quite spicy. So then add 2 ounces, 50 grams of butter, which I'm going to chop into small pieces. So going to rub this mixture in until it resembles fine breadcrumbs. So once we've rubbed that mixture to make it really fine like breadcrumbs, going to add a sachet of dried yeast. And then there's about 2 ounces of mixed dried fruit going to go in. Actually, I used a little bit more fruit in there, didn't seem enough, so I'd say about 4 ounces, 125 grams of dried fruit. Now to that, I'm going to add about half a pint of a mixture of hand hot water, which I've used from the kettle, which has cooled down, and milk, which I've combined to about half a pint. So now I'm going to add that into this mix. And I'll mix that to form a dough. Get your hands in there, nice and sticky. It smells absolutely amazing with the mixed spice, and it's quite springy. So now what I'm going to do is put that out onto my board and actually start kneading it. I would suggest before you start kneading to put some flour underneath to avoid it sticking. Okay, so I'm going to knead this now for about 2 minutes. Okay, I'll show you how to do that. So the way I tend to do this is push it in from the edge and then knead it, push it back in to the centre. Obviously with both hands is best, so push down into the centre, push down. It's like you're punching it. It's actually very good therapy, this punch. Obviously you do it with 2 hands, but I'm holding the phone, so I can't do that. But I would do it with both hands, one, then the other, backwards and forwards. And it should feel really springy to the touch, which it does. So I'm going to keep going for, just nearly 2 minutes. Right, so that's well kneaded. So that's now going to go back into the bowl, the plastic bowl. And then what I'm going to do is cover this with some cling film and then put it in a warm place for about an hour until it doubles in size. So as you can see, the dough has now doubled in size. That was putting it in my airing cupboard, but anywhere warm will do, like a nice warm windowsill in the kitchen, or even, in the top oven. If the bottom oven's on, just the warmth coming up there can help. So now I'm going to put that onto the board with a bit of flour and knead it back into sort of a shape, and then I'm going to put it onto the floured board and knead it, and then divide it into probably about 12 bun sizes, and then put them onto a greased tray. So I can really smell this yeasty smell, and it feels like really springy and a bit kind of squeaky, so you know that there's plenty of air in there. So as I say, I'm going to knead that again and then divide it up. So that's been cut in half the pieces again, and then into threes, so it makes 12. Okay, so there's my 12 little buns, so I'm going to roll them into little rounds now. So each one, if you do like a bit of a mini knead on each one, pushing it in to the centre. And then what I do is this action, which actually then will make a lovely round shape. There we go. So that's one bun done already. So now to complete it with the other 11. So there we go. We have 12 hot cross buns. They need to now be proved in a warm place again for about 20 minutes this time. So just whilst the buns are finishing proving, I'm going to make the flour paste, which will make the cross on the top of the buns. So you need like a good sort of heaped tablespoon of flour, and then I'm just going to make that into a paste with some water. So here's the buns. They seem to have grown a little bit now, so just about the right size for hot cross buns. So I'm going to put the paste on them to make a cross on each one. So I'm just going to do it with this teaspoon. I mean, people can just pipe it on, but if you're just doing it in a short space of time, this is just as good if you've got a steady hand. There we go, that's the first one, so I'll just do the others now. So there we go, there's 12 hot cross buns. They're all ready to go in the oven now. I've got a fan oven, so I'm going to put it in at about 200 degrees Celsius for about 20 minutes maximum. And whilst that's going, I'll start making the sugar paste for the top, which you put on as soon as they come out, which makes them really sticky on the top. So to make the sugar glaze, we're going to add about 4 tablespoons of milk, which is just in here, with about 3 tablespoons of sugar. This is just standard white caster sugar. And then we dissolve that, and when that's dissolved, that will go on top of the buns that have just come out the oven. So there we go, hot cross buns all out the oven. So now I'm going to transfer them over to these trays and put my glaze on the top. I'll just brush this over with a pastry brush. Actually, you could just do it whilst it's still in the pan. Makes it like really sticky on the top, and it's best to do it like as soon as it comes out. A bit more on some of these. Okay, and I'll complete the others and transfer them to the tray. So there we go, all finished, lovely hot cross buns. So as the saying goes, 1 a penny, 2 a penny, hot cross buns. Will you be giving it to your master or giving it to your son? Happy Easter!